The doctor sat back in her chair and turned the screen from me. The longest 10 minutes of my life happened before she spoke. "I'm sorry," she said. Those are the only words I remember as I was walking back to the car with my husband. I felt numb and a little startled. My husband gave me a hug and a kiss. We got into the car and we drove home. There were three things that I did that night. I cried, I snuggled with my husband on the couch, and I reminded myself of God's enduring promise. In the weeks earlier, we had prepared and planned a wonderful, exciting event. We made all the preparations, we made all the planning, we did all of the prerequisites, and to have all of that excitement ripped from you was heart-wrenching. And the days that followed, I found myself going through the grief process. I felt hurt, I felt anger, I felt pain, I felt discouragement, and I felt blame. Two questions kept swimming around in my head. What did I do wrong? And how do I fill the hole that is in my heart? Instead of sinking into despair, I decided to do two things that I had been taught since I was a child. In the movie, God's Enduring Promise, there is a principle that is taught that correlates with the principle of the gospel. In it, it talks about how God can be walking right alongside you and you can fall. God's promise isn't that you won't cry and it won't hurt, but His promise is there will be no tears. Through the all-encompassing power of Christ's atonement, there will be no tears. Faith isn't believing that an event will or will not happen, but rather that at the very end, there will be no tears, that through the atonement, all will be made right. I had to keep reminding myself of that promise every time those thoughts kept coming into my mind. The second event or promise that I remember since childhood was hold on to the light that you already have. I chose through this experience to reach out to neighbors and friends. I chose to reach out to my children and to love them more. As I allowed them to help me physically and emotionally through this process, I in turn helped them physically and emotionally. I made that choice to give my light and to accept that light from them. As I did this, my heart was filled. I no longer felt that pain. In moments where you don't feel like you don't know what's going to happen or that you're afraid of the next hour, just remember two principles: that through the atonement, there will be no tears, and hold on to the light you already have and magnify it.